Yeah.
Oh yeah. That's the good stuff right there.
This sun fucking sucks, dude.
It sure does. But then again, Rob, manual labor was never your thing. I mean, I thought that gopher was gonna kick your ass.
Hey, man. That motherfucker was doing some crazy kung fu fucking gopher paw action. That is exactly why I like being down here versus out there, playing games, doing reviews.
Can't really argue that. Nothing will ever beat that. The review. The review! We never did the review!
What review? Speak for yourself, Joe. I've done a lot of reviews in my day. There was the Shin Godzilla one, there was the Linkin Park one that got us all those subs, there was that other one with the thing in it, then there was this other one where I was talking about music and stuff, and who could forget that one time that I did that episode that never came out, and then, you know, there was everything else that I've done, all 106 of them.
Come on, Rob, you're being a little selfish here, don't you think? The channel isn't called Rob Reviews. Joemetheus and Rob was supposed to be our flagship series. You don't want it to end up like, oh, I don't know, Naruto? Your favorite anime of all time, promising fans so much with little story arcs and nothing but filler and nothing to show for it.
Then what are we doing running around here like Sonic Adventure 3 is going to be coming out anytime soon? We gotta pick a game! I got it! What'd you pick? Peanut butter egg dirt!
No, seriously, Rob, what did you pick?
No, by all means, Joe, you go
Oh,
first.
no, but sure, Rob Reviews, you have all the videos on the channel. Why don't you show me your game first?
You know what, Joe? Fine, I picked. Yeah. Tim Burton's The Nightmare Before Christmas, Oogie's Revenge was developed by Capcom and released in Japan in 2004. The game would not see a stateside release until the following year on October 10th. The game was solely released on the PlayStation 2 and Xbox with a planned GameCube port, but it was scrapped. The game takes place roughly a year after the events of the movie. Oogie Boogie is back and he has taken over every single holiday, naming himself the King of Holidays. Playing as Jack Skellington and armed with the snot rocket looking soul robber, it is up to you and Jack to free all of the holidays from Oogie Boogie's grip and bring justice to Halloween Town. The game honestly plays out like a Devil May Cry game. In camera angles and invasive action and combos, it's all essentially there. The game does suffer from getting a little repetitive and reusage of the same enemies and mini-bosses and even some of the normal bosses, but overall, it's a good game. And yeah, it's a little bland here and there. I do feel like the team really could have brought out something a whole lot more crazy and different, but I understand why they wanted to stay close to the original source material. This is The Nightmare Before Christmas we're talking about, and let's face it, it has one of the biggest fan bases of all time. Well, check and mate. This is definitely the go-to game, Joe. Everybody loves Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yeah, if you're a fat, overweight goth girl with a Jack Skellington tattoo.
Ooh.
Nightmare Before Christmas is so out. You know what's in, though? Superheroes. And nobody makes bigger stinker movies or games than DC. So I picked Superman 64.
Yes, I know what you're thinking. What a common game to pick. Many people have touched upon this in the past. What could I possibly say about it that hasn't already been said? It is often cited as one of the worst games of all time. But is it really? Sure, the controls are stiff most times along with hit detection that rarely exist, and one of the worst combat systems I've ever seen. But you can't honestly sit there and tell me you haven't played worse. DC Comics and Warner Brothers demanded the French development team Titus to tone down the game, which made the process even harder as they were greatly limited. It was a disaster from the very start. These aspects included little to no use of Superman's vast array of powers, plus the game setting being strictly in a virtual world so that the Man of Steel wouldn't have to fight or harm actual people. The game starts you off flying through rings, which would be fine if the flying mechanic wasn't so atrocious. Most times you will find yourself doing a headstand on the ground or literally being stopped dead in your tracks by a wall or building. What's up with Superman's arms? Is he doing the YMCA? Once you get the hang of the controls, it's not too bad for anyone who has experience with the N64 controller. A poor excuse for a full-priced game at the time, but I'd be lying if I said I'm not tempted to pop this game in every once in a while just to see how far I can get before giving up and moving on to something else. Always an interesting game conversation. My game is clearly the superior here, and the perfect topic for our first episode review.
So what'd you think of that one, Robert? King and me. What? I don't know, but the fact is, we have to do a bad video game review. No good YouTuber has ever gotten famous by doing a good game review. Come on.
Yeah, you're right. But you know what, Joe? These games really aren't that bad. They actually have a cult following to them. This is our very first episode, man. We gotta turn some heads. We gotta play one of the worst of the worst. We have to lick the shit skid off of a toilet bowl with this, man.
Well, there is one game. Yeah, a game that is solely responsible for the video game crash of 1982, regarded as one of the worst video games of all time.
Joe, there's kinda already a movie about that, you know? The not so happy video gaming dude.
Oh, I see what you're doing here. You just want to pick your game, so you don't pick mine.
No, Joe. It's right here.
Where-
2014,
where did you get
Cinemassacre, James Rolfe. Took like 8, 9, 10 years to make. Really shitty on purpose, so it's funny. E.T.?
Nope, not ringing any bells.
Joe, you love Cinemassacre. You love the Angry Video Game Nerd. You love James Rolfe.
No. Not ringing any bells.
Come here, look at me. Joe, you know what this is. We saw this together in theaters.
Well, I'll agree to disagree. All I know is we gotta pick a really bad game before July 3rd. All the fans are depending on us.
Son of a bitch. This always happens with
this
you, Joe.
always happens.
Yes,
Of
this
course
always
you're gonna
happens.
put the blame
of
on
course.
everybody but-
Why is this episode taking a year to make?
Nothing is Rob's fault. ever.
Well, yeah, where are your episodes, Joe? Where's your content?
Oh, I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
here I
bought
go.
the cameras and I did everything
Oh,
else.
I bought the cameras. You know what, Joe? I totally know it was fucking you that ate my slice of pizza in
here
high
he
school.
goes
Oh,
with the
here he
pizza
goes
thing.
again. You had grease all over your face. You had pepperoni on your breath. I fucking knew it. You took my slice of pizza.
That cuts deep.
Yeah, I'm sure it does. Like a slice of pizza.
Alright, you know I did take your slice.
I fucking knew it.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry about that, but we gotta stop fighting here. This isn't like us. We're letting all the work plummet on top of our friendship, and you know what? I can't live my life knowing I'm fighting with my best friend.
You right.
I'm sorry. I love you
I'm
too,
sorry.
man. But we gotta get something done before July 3rd. We can't let the fans down, Rob.
Yeah, we can't be Naruto. But what? What games do we have in this basement that are actually that bad, that doesn't have a loyal fan base, a following? What is there?
Well, there is another game that's not E.T. Yeah, something so vile. Something so putrid that it should have never seen the light of day.
Joe, everybody's done Zelda 2.
Well, there's another game then. Another one that is so bad that it's considered one of the worst games of all time, and I mean it this time. In this bag.
Where'd you get that?
Oh, it was just over here because it was the next scene.
Oh, alright.
In this bag is one of the worst games ever known to mankind. I've been saving it for a very special occasion. I've never played it, but I think it's time that we play it. Well, here goes nothing.
There's no coming back from this, Joe.
What horrid fate awaits our heroes? What game has Joe been hiding in that bag? And for how long? I'd really like to know. Why am I asking you these questions? Find out next time on the Joemetheus and Rob Show. Same crazy time, same Cowlicks channel.